Welcome to More Patience, More Impact, More Income, the podcast for real holistic medical practitioners who want to grow their high-impact, high-income practice without selling out. And now, here's your host, Chris Axelrad.
You're listening to More Patience, More Impact, More Income. Today, we have something a little different for you, and it's just too good to limit to one episode. Here's Chris with part one of the series.
So I was explaining this, why I call it seven-figure ad and marketing copy secrets. And I was saying that, I used to work at a software company. And as you guys may know, if you've been attending the previous installments of this, I didn't have time to run around, do a lot of marketing. So I set up a Google AdWords campaign, and it really worked good enough, to start building my practice. And I was kind of lucky because it was 2006. There wasn't a lot of competition. And also, honestly, I just instinctively, set it up the right way, just good enough. Like in hindsight, it was horribly set up, but it was just good enough to work. So, and I was smart enough to make the ad specific to something that I wanted to treat and make the page that the ad went to specific to that thing. Talk to a lot of people who are doing AdWords, but they're just sending their ad to some general page that just talks about everything they do, or maybe sending it to their homepage. And I always talk about this. I mean, you really have to walk your prospect through every step. You have to take their hand and hold their hand. Don't make them have to figure out what they need to do next. Okay? And when you just run an ad and send it to the homepage of your website, you're pretty much leaving everything up to them. And, when you leave stuff up to people that are not oriented to what it is you do or what they should be doing, you're going to lose people. And it's just not going to work. So I was smart enough to do that from the beginning, which was great. But as I've studied this more and more, because I did eventually quit my day job and had to go full time with my practice. And that was when everything got way, way serious. Then I couldn't screw around anymore. It wasn't just hey, I've got this cool ad, running. Now I've got to figure out how to really market my practice and keep not only keep growing, but ensure stability in my numbers, because I'm supporting my family with this at that point. And I had quit a 6-figure job, and I'd saved just enough money really to float me for about 6 months. And the first year in my practice definitely got nowhere near 6 figures. I think the total revenue, I think I netted maybe $60K, which still is not complaining at all. But, you net $60K after, you've been making 6 figures for a decade as a software engineer. It's a pretty big change, number one. Number two, it really made me serious about growing the practice, because I really wanted to get back to that level of income before, we had to make serious changes like sell the house and stuff. So anyway, that's how this all came about. And since I really got locked in on that, which was about 2010 when I really started to figure this out, we've grossed over $5 million since that time. So this is actual 7-figure ad and copywriting secrets, okay? So in our last training, we talked about the one word that gets motivated, committed patients to pay attention, take you seriously. We figured out that's what? That is their diagnosis, their problem, that in the way that they think of it, in their language, right? We also talked about something that prospect is desperately looking for, even more so than results. Again, we know they're looking for results, so we don't want to pretend that people don't want results, but we want to make sure that we understand what they're really looking for more than anything is clarity and a process. They want somebody to shortcut them, okay? So when you have the clarity in your message that you're talking to them about their problem, and you show them that you have a process that works, man, it's lights out. Okay. what we're going to learn today is how to make the most motivated and willing prospects think you are reading their mind. This is really important because that's what blows them away when they read your marketing stuff. In fact, a lot of people, even who come into my mentorship program, see, I use these same principles in my clinic as I do here. The reason you are here watching this live is for the same reason that patients end up in my office, okay? The key is that our first visit is a free consultation. And that's basically you're getting something free right now. The way that you ended up here is exactly the same path that all of our patients take into our office to come talk to us. And I hear this all the time. People will read posts that I write, and they're like, how do you know this is what I'm thinking of, or whatever? Or I'll do trainings in my group, in my mastermind group, in my war room. And, I'll do a training that week because we do weekly group training twice a week. We do that. Okay. Live 2 times a week. I train and we answer questions and we help people. And I'll set up people's ads. I'll do all kinds of stuff for them. And that happens twice a week. But people will say, man, it's like you're talking to me. Well, yeah, I am talking to you because I understand what's going on with you, right? But the way that I do this is different than I think where a lot of marketing people teach. And I think it's why the results that we're getting in the program are as good as they are, okay? The crucial elements of a killer ad. Now, advertising to me is the Holy Grail. Obviously, the Holy Grail is to have a word of mouth practice. Of course, we want word of mouth to be our primary patient source. Okay. And at this point, my practice is about 70 to 80% word of mouth. But ads are really the key to making sure that your new patient flow is very stable. And you're also constantly expanding that word of mouth network. Because if you're just working within a word of mouth network, the expansion of that takes a lot longer if you don't have outreach into the general community of people who are outside of that network. So it's a way to really exponentially increase your reach when you use ads and start to tap into, really social circles, family circles, and other types of circles that you normally would not access through your word of mouth. Okay. So we're going to talk about the crucial elements of a killer ad. And then the big mistake that everyone makes, man, everyone makes this mistake. And I've made the mistake and I've learned how to stop. But pretty much guarantees you're going to fail if you do this. Okay. So I'm going to teach you that. And I'm going to teach you how to create what I call an automated 3-tier ecosystem of inspirational marketing that connects to your market, connects to your prospects, really, okay? And also really your general market. I'm going to explain that in a minute. On all levels that they're at to ensure that you're getting maximum mind share and crystal clear branding in your market. The bottom line is this, people talk about branding and it kind of is overused as a term, but it really is important for people in your market, people in your community, people in your area, whatever you want to call it, to be crystal clear on what you do, on how you help people, on who you help, on the problems you solve, to where if someone said your name, for instance, or the name of your clinic, there's a very high chance that they're going to go, oh yeah, I've heard of that. They do this, right? That happens with us, okay, in Houston, because I've just been running Facebook ads since 2009. And I've been, treating hundreds of people. We've been working with hundreds of people every week for years. So it's just really important to have that. And there's a really easy 3-tier system that just pretty much runs automatically that will do that for you if you set it up the right way. And then we're going to talk about the next lesson. So again, everything I teach is to help so you can help more people sooner. You can have more impact on those people. You can enjoy more consistent income and more income overall, right? I mean, 6 figures, that's great. You know, you need to get to net 6 figures. Think about this. If you want to keep over $100,000 for yourself, you're probably going to have to generate anywhere from $200,000 to $300,000 because the costs, rent, supplies, an employee or two, etc. It's going to end up, you know, taking out of that. So it's really important, you know, to have that consistent like flow of new people and also reactivations, referrals, and all that. So that's what we've sort of been going over all of this time. Be a light in your community as the go-to unquestioned authority in your area of expertise. I mean, this is very important, you know, to be one of those names, to be one of those people that people just know who you are. They know what you do. There's no doubt in anyone's mind in this city, like Axelrad, that name, that is what we do is fertility, women's health, and hormones. Everybody knows that. And if you ask any acupuncturist in this town, what is Chris Axelrod focus on? That's what they're going to know. They're going to know. Why? Because that's not by accident. That's because I very purposely did that. And on the contrary, I can think of 15 or 20 names of other acupuncturists and that I know right now, and maybe like 2 or 3 of them I can tell you what they specialize in and what they're good at, and the rest of them are just like names that like there's no force behind it. So you don't want to be one of those people, you know. And just to show you this graphic, you know, here's our Facebook page. You can go look at my Facebook page anytime you want. 7,626 likes. That is not the result of patients. That, in fact, I don't even know how many of those are patients, but we don't ever like tell our patients, hey, like our Facebook page. This is the result of having run ads consistently, constantly since 2009 when Facebook ads first started. Literally, you know, because that's how I did it. I was just like, oh my God, now you can advertise on Facebook. Immediately I went in there. I started trying to figure out how I could run an ad because I had great experience with Google ads. So, you know, this is just the fact that we've been in front of people for almost 10 years, every single day. Hundreds of thousands of people. In fact, I could show you, although it's going to be too small on the screen for Facebook, but I could show you my ads account. You look at this ad account, I've got, how many of these are running? I've got one campaign where there's ads running right now. We're getting we're paying about $51 for every registration of someone who fills out our free consult request form. We pay $51 for that, which is amazing because even in the first visit, you know, we charge $165 for the first visit. The average patient for us completes anywhere from 20 to 30, about 20 to 32 visits. So, I mean, you know, do the math, $51 and we end up with about $2,500. It's a no-brainer. It's amazing, actually. And these things just run all the time. I've spent $15,768 on these ads since I started running them. Look at how many. We've had 305 people fill out the free consult request form. The cool thing about this is that we've tracked this, and there's about a almost 2-to-1 ratio of people who fill out the form versus people who call. Most people want to call us because honestly, and we talked about this on the last lesson, I believe, or maybe the first lesson, people have serious problems. They don't want to just fill out a form and book their appointment. Like if you had a brain tumor, God forbid, and you need, and your doctor said, I'm going to refer you to this very skilled specialist in this type of brain tumor that you have. Are you going to go to their website and book an appointment online? I don't know, man. I'm going to want to call, talk, right? I'm scared. Like I want to talk to a human being. Book an appointment online. So actually more people call us than fill out our form, a lot more. So we've probably had double at least the number of people. 305 have filled out the form. So we've probably gotten 600 plus patients. So that reduces this cost even more. And if you look here, the reach, 188,000 people have seen our ads, and they've been shown 1 million times. Okay. Over 1 million times our ads have been shown. And this is a targeted audience. It's not some kind of audience. So this is my ads account. And, you can't really, if you're on a small screen, it's going to be hard to see. But what I was talking about is we have this one account run, this one active campaign. Okay. For every person that's filled out our free consult request form, $51.71 is what we've spent. 305 people total. We've spent $15,768.78 on this thing since early 2017. 1,000,005 people have seen our ads have been shown 1,000,005 times to 188,000 people. And in Houston, that's nothing because we have 9 million people. So these ads are pretty well targeted too, honestly. And the point is, I've been running ads like forever, basically. So it's just awesome. It's awesome. Okay, you heard all my numbers. So let me not waste any more time. Let's get back to our teaching. Okay, so again, my name's Chris Axelrad. By now, you probably know that. And I'm a master acupuncturist, specialist in endocrinology, reproductive medicine. This is me and my staff about 3 years ago. Here's our calendar from the week of September 30th this year, 200 appointments. The yellow is free consultations. The orange is intakes. So you can see that we have, like, just in that 1 week, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 26, 27 appointments with patients that are either new or that are doing their intake, that already did their free consultation. All right. We have 3 locations in Houston. Today I'm reviewing a lease on 4th, and I'm probably going to sign it even though it scares the shit out of me. Just going to do it. And here's our Square account. I've showed this before. This is the month of October 2018. We grossed $85,926.94. This is what I call the heartbeat. Our revenue is very consistent. And this is the year. This is the year of 2018. And again, you can see the consistency of that pattern of daily revenue. Okay. So this works, and it'll work for you. It's already working for a lot of people. I want to make sure that you know that I love helping people grow, and I actually love helping people grow in all facets of their lives. My program for you is not only about practice growth, but people really get a lot of personal growth out of it too. Because honestly, your business can't grow. Actually, the limitation of your business growth is simply the limitation of your own personal growth. And that's something I think we all eventually realize at some point. You're only going to grow, you can't grow past the limits of what your mind is capable of generating and perceiving and whatever. So people who run into problems growing their practice and they keep looking out here for everything and they're not really looking inside themselves, you've got to balance that out. You've got to balance it out, the inside and the mindset and the clarity within here with the techniques and the strategies that you're using out here. You can't just make it all about the actions. I'm good at this, and I would love to help you. And one reason I do these free trainings is so that you can decide if you want to work with me or not. And of course, you're going to get a lot of really awesome stuff out of it that you can apply as well. So it's not like this is just a pitch. You're going to learn some really amazing stuff that you can put into action. I do offer a free initial consultation for people who are serious. So all you have to do, if you're serious and you're really seriously considering working with me, that what I mean by that is, like you can go fill out this application. It is an application, and it really is just, and it doesn't take more than 3 minutes, and it's just really for you to give us an indicator of what's going on with you, because we don't want you to waste your time talking to us when there's just not even any possibility that we could help you. At the same time, we also want to make sure that your goals are in alignment with the way that we want to teach, which is we're all about integrity and authenticity and building your practice around that. This is not some kind of patient mill. Let's just stuff as many patients as we can and not give good service and not be congruent with our goals of really, really, truly helping people. So, the application is just to make sure that everybody's on the same page to start out. And spots are limited. In fact, we signed up 7 or 8 people in the last week and a half. Because the end of the year is always a big time, but also because we are going to be closing it down for about 3 months. So you got to get your application in before December 31st if you want to be considered, because I need to focus on building the clinical training, which I'm really excited about. And I want to make sure that while I'm doing that, I have enough time to focus on the people who are already in the program. So, just got to have priorities. Okay. How to make the most motivated and willing prospects think you are reading their minds so they are continually blown away by your marketing stuff. All right. So this is what I call the death of the avatar. We're all taught this whole thing about build a customer avatar. Her name's Sally. She's 27 years old. She's an administrative assistant, and she's also a mom. And she's, so granted, look, I'm not saying that that's not helpful to know those things. And it's especially helpful if you're selling widgets, if you're selling products, because your product is like a commodity and it has to appeal to a certain type of person, right? Like you're not going to advertise, some kind of really expensive hair conditioner. I don't know, whatever. You're not going to advertise that to a guy who likes to watch football, right? That's important, right? When we're in the commodities marketing space. But when it comes to what we do, age, gender, income, likes, doesn't like, those types of things are really not the first thing we need to be thinking about. We talked about this last time. We've established that our focus is the problem they have, okay? And people with real problems are not going to nitpick based on, how fancy this is or or not fancy this is, how whatever. They don't nitpick on that stuff. So they just want a solution. They want help, right? So everything that we do is not focused on this whole avatar stuff. Because when we do that, what happens is our message becomes diluted. We're trying to talk to all these things like what they like and they don't like, and their gender and the colors they like and the da-da-da-da-da. And we're not really like giving them a clear idea of what problems we solve, that we can actually help them. So we're like dancing around the issue. You will see this in so much marketing in our industry. Okay. People are just dancing around the issue. They don't just come out and just say, hey, here's what I solve. Here's how I solve it. Yes, I can help you. Here is how we get started. That's really it. That is the entirety. Write that down. That's the entirety of a marketing message that just crushes it right there. All right. Chances are, if one person reads your message and has no fucking idea, like if it applies to them or really if it's something that they need to be paying attention to, then a bunch of other people are just as confused and unclear. Okay. So it doesn't really translate, right? So again, we're not really trying to focus on avatar. We are going to focus on reading the mind of the person who has the specific problem that we picked in the last lesson, that has a very specific problem with a very specific name. Okay. And a lot of those other things will sort themselves out. Okay. Because we've already established the one word they want to hear is the name of their problem, right? As soon as they hear the name of their problem, they're just like, whoa, okay, this is about me, but it's about my problem. It's not about my hairstyle. It's not about the colors that I like. It's not about da-da-da-da. It's about this fucking problem that I have that's really serious, that's really making my life miserable, okay? And so we use that as our center, as sort of the hub of the wheel, as I like to say, and everything builds around that. So the way we go deeper is we go deeper on the things that tend to be the same for everyone with that specific problem, like I said. And then all of these other things will just sort of sort themselves out. We don't have to worry about it as long as we're focusing on their fears, number one, their frustrations, number two. Notice these are emotions. These are not likes and dislikes. They're not characteristics. They're emotions. And emotions move people. Okay. So we're really gonna go deeper on what are they afraid of, what frustrates them, what do they want? What do they want? And finally, what are the things, what are their limiting beliefs? What are beliefs that they have that are keeping them from believing they can get better, or keeping them from believing that there's a solution or whatever? Okay. So that's what we go deeper on. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. Okay. Let's say we're talking to people with IBS, which, by the way, IBS encompasses a lot of different things, right? Crohn's, ulcerative colitis. There's other types of colitis that are chronic, and they're all sort of classified under IBS. So when you use the term IBS, you're actually talking to quite a few people. So what's a fear that someone with IBS has? That they'll never be able to stop their medication. Another fear they have that I had originally put here, I don't know why I took it out, was that it's never going to get better. It's never going to get better. Okay. That you can sit here and brainstorm on, like, you can come up with 15, 20 fears, right? I mean, obviously another fear might be every time they go out to a restaurant, they're afraid to go out of their house because they think they're going to have an accident, right? That's a fear. What's a frustration? That the medication side effects are too severe. Like, the medication is almost worse than the problem, right? In a lot of cases. Desire. One of their desires, they just want to go out to dinner like a normal person. Like, they just want to be able to, like, their friend says, hey, you want to go out to dinner? Yeah, let's go. And to be able to eat like pretty regular food, right? And not have to always be the guy or the gal with the messed up digestion who can never go out, right? What's a limiting belief? The limiting belief I think a lot of these people have is that the only solution, if that's, natural, is just going to be some like ridiculously complicated, super restrictive diet, like that FODMAP diet, if you've ever heard of that, which I think is just like, I don't even understand how anybody does that. I mean, obviously people who are in serious pain and who are having serious problems, they'll go through that, of course. But I've had people who did that and it didn't even really make a difference. And it's like, they're eating what, like celery and kale and like, I don't know, whatever. I mean, they can eat like 3 foods. It's horrible. So that's limiting belief, is that they can't get better unless they just basically stop eating. If we go for endometriosis, a fear is that they're going to need a hysterectomy. They're terrified that that's going to be the only solution, right? The frustration might be that all they ever have to offer me is birth control. Like, isn't there anything else that they can give me for this? The desire they have is just have a normal period, right? That's one of their desires, to have a normal period. Limiting belief is, and I've heard this personally in my clinic tons of times, that their hormones are screwed up and they can't be fixed. It's like there's just something inherently wrong with them, and and it's just, that's just how their hormones are, So the only way to like fix it is to just give them hormones or suppress their hormones, because no one else has a solution for them that talks about how they can naturally improve their hormones. Naturally, I guess, improve their hormone. Well, what I mean, naturally optimize and shift their own hormonal dynamics in their body. Nobody really talks to them about that in the sort of mainstream world. Okay. So that's really, when you start to like dig into this, you begin to really get inside the head of your prospect. And then you start to write stuff. You start to talk, even when you're just having conversations, but especially when you start to write ads, you can embed a lot of that into your ads. So that's what we're going to talk about now, which the crucial elements of a killer ad and the big mistake everyone makes that guarantees failure. Okay. Maureen has a question here. Facebook charges you $51. No, Facebook doesn't charge me $51. So Facebook is charging me for impressions, And for every $51 I spend, I'm getting a new patient. Okay. So no, Facebook has charged me over $15,000, but for every 51 of those dollars, I'm getting a new patient. So I'm happy to spend that money. So here's what most people lead with in their ads and their marketing copy. They'll lead with discount offers. So you'll see ads where it's like, limited time, get free cupping when you purchase a herbal supplement. I don't know, whatever, right? I mean, just some kind of like discount commoditized, like what I call commoditized offer. Okay. Or you'll see where they lead off the ad with some kind of fact or information or just more gunk. Like, people are already overloaded with information. That's the whole point. The people who are looking for help, they don't want more information. So why are we going to write an ad or do an advertisement that just offers more information, right? Not a good strategy. They lead off with the name of their clinic. The name of their clinic. People really don't care about that either. Now, granted, if you're advertising on Facebook, guess what? The name of your clinic's on every ad because it's a post, right? And it's a post that it has your name. So that's one of the reasons why I say Facebook is the premier branding platform on earth right now. To brand your clinic, there's nothing more powerful than Facebook, period. End of story. Because like I was saying the other day, I think it was either the last one or the training before, that I was out at a Asian restaurant on Christmas night, and we were waiting, and there was a huge wait because, they're like the only place open in the neighborhood. And I'm sitting around where everyone's waiting, and everyone, the people who are on their phones. I went to go use the restroom, and I was walking by all these people, and I was just kind of looking at their phones, and I'm like, 80% of these people are on Facebook right now, So, I mean, you use Facebook ads and you're going to get your name in front of like thousands and thousands of people. And I showed you a minute ago that 180,000 something people have seen our ads over the last almost 24 months. It's huge.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.